Hi everyone, my name is Kane, and I'm a part-time streamer and content creator for a variety of games. If you are interested in my videos, make sure to follow this channel. And recently, I post class guide videos and read content for Lost Ark every now and then. They're mostly my personal experiences with the game, so keep that in mind when you are watching this video. I also stream on Twitch every evening from 8 PM to 1 AM Eastern Daytime. Please feel free to check out my stream for my daily gameplays. Alright, without further ado, let's get into this video. First things first, Gunslinger is a very fun class to play due to its identities, where you can have 3 weapons, especially a pistol, a shotgun, and a sniper rifle. Therefore, you have a lot of buttons to press when you are playing a Gunslinger, and this is also the reason why it is a little bit hard when you just put your hands on this character. However, if you put enough time into this character, you will probably fall in love with its playstyle. The good thing about Gunslinger is that she has very high mobilities and consistent high damage. She's a hit master class, which means most of her skills are non-directional. You don't need to worry about doing head or back attack while fighting the boss. The shotgun skills are mostly mid-ranged, and rifle skills are mid to long-ranged. Gunslinger has more skills to use compared to other classes. This is both a pro and a con, because more skills means more utilities to use and therefore more contributions to a fight. However, you need to press a lot of buttons and switch weapon stances very often to make it work properly. The most annoying thing about this class is that her main DPS skills all have long and locked skill animations, which means you need to save your spacebar when using them. Combined with her squishy playstyle and relatively low survivability, you need to use the skills very carefully to avoid floor POV. In addition, due to the fact that Peacemaker engraving makes the rifle skills have disrespect effect, Gunslinger's damage is backloaded, which means the longer the fight, the more damage Gunslinger will pump into the fight. This is also the reason why Gunslinger generally won't be the MVP for the daily content of Lost Ark, because most of the fights are pretty short. Let's now talk about the skills and tripods. Gunslingers has handgun, shotgun, and rifle skills. Handgun skills are general utility, mobility, and synergy skills. The shotgun and rifle skills are mostly DPS skills. So the basic playstyle around this skill set is that you use handgun to apply synergies and switch into shotgun and rifles to do DPS. Let's start with the handgun skills first. Spell Tracker is your crit rate synergy skill. You want to level it to level 4 and choose the Weakening Exposure tripod for team synergy. The crit rate synergy lasts for 6 seconds. Equilibrium is another crit rate synergy skill. Weakening Exposure tripod is used, and the crit rate synergy lasts for 12 seconds. AT-02 Grenade is a quick filler skill for a smoother skill rotation. Quick Step is your attack speed booster skill. Left Absorption tripod is used here. Somersault Shot is your main mobility skill. It is a good substitution for your spacebar. Dexterous Shot is another mobility skill. Agile movement and excellent mobility are used. Peacemaker is your counter skill. The tripod excellent mobility is used. Bullet Ring is a sub DPS and a filler skill. The tripod choices here are In Attack Spot, Rapid Fire, and Flame Shot. Moving on to shotgun skills. Dual Shot is the one of the 2 main shotgun DPS skills. The tripods are In Attack Spot, Enhanced Fire, and Final Strike. Sharpshooter is the second shotgun DPS skill. Its tripods are Special Bullet, In Attack Spot, and Guardian's Breath. Last Request is another counter skill and it has high stagger. I choose Hour of Judgment as my last shotgun skill over Shotgun Rapid Fire because Hour of Judgment has longer range and shorter skill animation, which makes it fit better in the skill rotations. Now moving on to rifle skills. Catastrophe is your sub-DPS rifle skill. The triple used are Tenacity, Cutthroat, and Carpet Bombing. Focus Shot is your main DPS skill. The general triple choices are Quick Aim, Double Tap, and Final Strike. Quick Aim could be replaced with Change of Direction based on personal preference. Perfect Shot is another sub-DPS skill. You should use Stable Stance, Kill Confirmation, and Enhanced Shot as your triple choices. Target Down is the last main DPS skill. The triple used here are Quick Aim, Large Magazine, and Steady Aim. That's all the skills that I personally choose to use. In terms of other skill choices, you can swap AT-02 Grenade with Deathfire, and choose the Tenacity Tripod for a more stable playstyle. The rune choices are shown here on the right. Please feel free to copy what I used here. Based on personal preference, you can also put Quick Recharge on both Sparrow Tracker and Dexterous Shot to reduce the cooldown of other skills. If you are not using the Grenade skill, you can also put this Blade rune on Sparrow Tracker to increase the time of the blading effect. As for the Awakening skills, you can choose whichever one that you prefer. Eye of Twilight has a little bit higher damage, and HE Blade is easier to hit. The important tripods you should track along the way of building your character are as follows: Quick Step, Life Absorption, Dexterous Shot, Excellent Mobility, Bullet Ring, all 3, Debug Shot, all 3, Sharpshooter, all 3, Catastrophe, Cutthroat, Focus Shot, Double Tap, and Final Strike, Perfect Shot, Kill Confirmation, and Enhanced Shot, Target Down, Large Magazine, and Steady Aim. My gems of choices was built around a small skill rotation inside of max damage. Specifically, I put both cooldown and damage gems on all 4 main DPS skills, and 2 extra damage gems on sub DPS skills, and 1 cooldown gem on Quick Step. However, you have the choice to replace this Quick Step cooldown gem with a damage gem for Bullet Ring if you want to min-max the damage. The general rule when you are building the gems for Gunslinger is that you want to prioritize the main DPS skills first, then sub DPS skills, and at last the utility skills. In terms of combat stats, engravings, and relic sets, at the current NAEU version of the game, there are 2 different builds with similar DPS and playstyle. The first build is 1200 crit, 400 spec, and 500 swiftness. Specifically, you want to get a crit plus swiftness necklace, a crit earring, a spec earring, a crit ring, and 1 spec ring. In this case, the engraving you should aim for is Grudge, King Blunt Weapon, Hitmaster, and Cursed Soul. These 4 engravings at level 3, and Adrenaline at level 2 and Peacemaker 1. If you choose to go with this build, you should craft the Nightmare Flower relic set once you hit atom level 1445. For the second build, you want to aim for 1300 crit and 800 spec. Specifically, you want to get a crit plus spec necklace, 2 crit earrings, and 2 spec rings. For this crit spec build, the proper engravings you need are Grudge, King Blunt Weapon, Hitmaster, Cursed Soul, and Peacemaker all at level 3. In this case, you want to craft the Poem of Salvation relic set once you've reached atom level 1445. The controversy between which build is better for Gunslinger is a never-ending topic. At the current NAEU version of the game, the spec swiftness split build is a more popular build to go with. Generally, this build is more stable and the DPS is flat throughout the raid. However, it is also more expensive to build. The crit spec build is a little bit easier to build. However, DPS is not as stable as the other build. My advice here is that if you like a more consistent playstyle, go with the spec swiftness split build. However, if you like occasional big numbers on your skills, go with the crit spec build. In addition, whether to craft the Nightmare set or the Salvation set is not only dependent on your build, but also related to your weapon quality. The general rule of thumb is that if your weapon quality is higher than 50, you should go with the Nightmare set. If not, go with the Salvation set. In terms of skill rotations, in order to explain the rotations better, I've broken down each part of the rotation into 5 different skill combination groups. The first group is the Synergy group. This rotation looks like this: Spiral Tracker, Grenade, and Quick Step. The second group is the Close Combat DPS group, and it looks like this: Sharpshooter, Deduct Shot, and Catastrophe. And this is the third group of skill rotation: Focus Shot, Dexterous Shot, and Bullet Ring. And this is the fourth group: Target Down, and Perfect Shot. The fifth group of skill is a group of filler skills: Equilibrium, Somersault Shot, Arbor Judgment, and Last Request. After familiarizing with these 5 skill rotation groups, here's the general rotation that I'm using when Awakening is on CD. So for the first rotation, it is 1-2, Dexterous Shot, 1-3, 1-4, Dexterous Shot, and then repeat. 1, 2, Dexterous Shot, 1, 3, 1, and 4, and Dexterous Shot, repeat. The second rotation for Salvation set and Nightmare set are different. So in terms of Salvation set, you should repeat the first rotation until the end of 3, and then continue with 1, 5, 4, and then repeat the second rotation for the rest of the fight. So for the second rotation with the Salvation set should look like this: Dexterous Shot, 1, 2, and Dexterous Shot, 1, 3, Dexterous Shot, Bullet Ring, and then 1, 5, then 4, then Dexterous Shot, repeat. So the 2 consecutive rotations with the Salvation set should look like this. The second rotation with the Nightmare set should look like this: Dexterous Shot, 1, 2, Dexterous Shot, 1, 3, Dexterous Shot, Bullet Ring, and then 1, and 2. Shot, 1, 3, Shot, Bullet Ring, 1, 4. Takes their shot and then repeat. The 2 consecutive rotations with the nightmare side should look like this. Second rotation. The starter rotation to activate the magic addiction effect from the nightmare set with the awakening is like this. Takes their shot. 1. Equilibrium, switching to rifle, awakening. 3. Takes a shot, bullet ring. 1. 4. Takes a shot. 1, 2. The shot. 1, 3. And then continue with the second rotation. Here's the quick rotation for stagger check. Grenade, last request, or judgment, catastrophe, grenade. Here's the quick rotation for destruction. Do back shot, catastrophe, focus shot, then perfect shot. Here are some more tips about using Gunslinger skills. Number 1. You should always use mobility skills like somersault shot, dexterous shot, even Peacemaker, or quick step instead of spacebar to dodge attacks. Spacebar should be prioritized to cancel locked animations for focus shot and sharpshooter. In addition, sharpshooter's animation can also be cancelled by changing stances. This could save you from the situation, for example, falling from the platform during bolt and skills phase. Number 2. Target down can be fired by pressing the skill buttons again instead of using the mouse click, and I recommend you to make this a habit while playing cause you don't want to click on the UI at the bottom to make a random window to pop up during a fight. Number 3. The Peacemaker engraving makes the rifle do more damage when the boss has lower health, so you should prioritize shotgun rotations in the early stages of the fight and shift that focus to rifle skills in the later stages. So about Peacemaker versus Time to Hunt. Peacemaker engraving increases pistol's attack speed, shotgun's crit rate, and rifle's damage, while Time to Hunt increases crit rate of both pistol and rifle. Since Peacemaker Gunslinger's main damage is coming from shotguns and rifles, plus the disrespect effect of the rifle, Peacemaker Gunslinger's damage is backloaded, which means the longer the fight, the more damage she can do. On the other hand, Time to Hunt Gunslinger's damage is much flatter throughout the fight. The DPS of both engravings are similar. Peacemaker is more expensive and harder to master, while Time to Hunt is cheaper to build and easier to maneuver. In my personal opinion, I choose to play Peacemaker cause I like shotguns, and 3 weapons are more fun than only 2. Alright, to wrap this up, Gunslinger is a really fun and challenging class to play. If you like to press a lot of buttons and trying to be busy all the time during a fight, I highly recommend you to give this class a try. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!